We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Yes, welcome everybody. Once again, it's another day. Speak on it, and you're not hearing wrong. This isn't Richard Karr. Normally, Richard Karr is the host of Speak on It, but I'm sitting in. This is the Van Eric, also known AKA Van Eric Rock Show, Scopes, and the host of Veterans Day Live as well. But today, it's not about me. It's about who I have here, as you can see, SoCal NOMA. How y'all doing today?
Outstanding.
Get closer to the mic there, young man. Get closer. There you go. Got to get there.
Yes.
And stuff. How you doing, young lady?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I can't hear you there. Come on, we gotta get up on those mics.
I'm doing well, thank you.
There you go. Thank you for that. So, without further ado, we're going to start this off. So, SoCal NOMA, Architect and Engineer, has a summer camp. So I'm going to let you guys tell the audience more about it, and we'll wait for Ruben to come back.
Okay.
In the meantime.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lawrence Huley. I'm the director of the summer camp for NOMA, the National Organization of Minority Architects. It is part of our community outreach program, as you probably heard a little bit last week when Drake Dillard and Steve Lewis and Ruben Jacobs talked about the program. But again, reflecting on what we've been doing over the last 6 years, it's been extremely exciting. We have some really outstanding young people that come to the camp that are enriched. I think with day one, they start off knowing absolutely nothing, or kind of a blank slate, and at the end of the third consecutive Saturday, they are actually building their own personal space and know how to do a program, and they get the rudimentary elements of, say, being an architect.
Well, that's great. That's great because some of these young men and women are talented, and like you and I talked off air. You always had the ability to draw.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's a lot of young men and women who express themselves through art, through some type of drawing.
Exactly.
So they have that ability right off the bat.
Well, you kind of speak on it. I mean, my road where I am today is much different than most of the people that are in the architectural field. I mean, my passion was I wanted to be a professional athlete. I was an outstanding baseball player and could play some basketball and have some skills.
Right.
And had the big head too, and realized that I was going to be a professional. And so one of the other things, the saving grace for me, was that I did like art. And what happened to me is that I was about to sign professionally, and the summer before, or the winter before I signed rather, I blew out my shoulder.
Okay.
And so that kind of ended my career. So one of the things my mom taught me a long time ago is, Larry, never be a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
Okay, and so that's what we try to instill in these young people, especially our young athletes, is that, yeah, you can be that athlete, and we don't want to change your vision, but what we want to do is expand your vision and give you some additional tools that you already have innately in you.
Exactly.
To actually do some creative stuff that can be tremendously dynamic and impactful on our community.
Exactly. I forget the young gentleman's name, played basketball. It's right on the tip of my tongue. But also, he was a jazz bass player.
Raymond Tisdale.
Raymond Tisdale.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he, I'm quite sure he probably could have played even longer in his basketball career, but he chose to end it early to pursue the music and jazz and stuff like that.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I think in Raymond Tisdale's story, it was more so he, because he had some physical ailments.
Okay.
After his career, that was what he fell back on.
Oh,
his
okay.
career in basketball. He fell back on the music, which he was very extremely successful in.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And so we're gonna go around, and normally, ladies are first.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let the young lady at the head of the table speak on it, what she does, and the part that she plays for this organization.
Hello, my name is Raquel Sheppard-Price. I'm an assistant principal with LA Unified School District, and I have a son who has participated in a camp 3 consecutive years, and he also volunteered an additional year in a camp. When he initially came in school, I noticed that he had a lot of difficulty in the area of like language arts and reading and writing, but he excelled in mathematics without any problems. He loved to draw. He loved to be artistic and use his hands. And so with that being said, when he started the camp, he was in his first year of high school. I sought out this opportunity for him so that he could expand his knowledge on career pathways to use his strengths. And I also volunteered along with my husband so that we could bring the technology component to the camp.
Right.
Because I thought that was a important piece for the students who were participating.
Cool, outstanding. And your husband is in the studio today, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is. We have Mr. Scott Price over in the corner. Wave.
There you go. Wave there. There you go. There he is. There you go.
Scott.
Exactly. Well, thank you for being part of the show and participating. And go ahead, you young man.
My name is Duane Williams. I'm the assistant director of the
Get a little closer to that mic, please.
Duane Williams, I'm the assistant director of the camp this year. I think that we've bent over backwards this year to really include some really exciting things that we probably did do in years previous. This year we're going to include urban planning as well as architecture and engineering into the camp schedule. And
you said urban planning?
yes.
And that consists of?
That consists of designing an entire city and saying where the buildings go, as well as architecture, what the buildings look like, and functionality, and then engineering, and making sure they stand up, and if there any problems with the building, they're solved. Okay,
and a lot of people may not realize the planning on that. You just can't just throw a building anywhere. As Cedric the Entertainer would say, all willy-nilly and stuff. You just can't throw it up all willy-nilly. You just gotta, there's a reason why that building is where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
And being that we in California, the different codes because of the earthquakes here, you have to build that building in a certain way so it can deal with the earthquakes. Is that correct?
Yes.
And,
actually, it was kind of funny that we're at Southwest College, but I grew up right down the street from there, and I know that some of the buildings they had built in the past actually had to be reconstructed, if you will, because there was an earthquake fault line nearby.
Oh, okay.
So something they just finished, it had to be, torn down and rebuilt. So
exactly, because being from the East Coast like I am, and one of my first jobs was property manager, and not knowing what to do in the event of an earthquake, another property manager and I took a natural disaster course in San Pedro, because I came to the realization that in the event that the tenant's going to go to the manager, what's going on, you know what I mean? And I can't tell him, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
you know what I mean?
So I took that course, but I remember one time I was in the courtyard in the middle of the complex cleaning up, and we had an earthquake, and it shook me back and forth. And I was like, oh, wow, that's like a roller coaster ride. But I said to myself, if it was any stronger, I would have fell.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Van, well, one of the things I want to, since we're talking about earthquakes and seismic activity, that sort of thing, one of the things that's going to be really neat about this particular summer camp, and as we move forward,
Right.
Southwest College is a new state-of-the-art campus. I mean, they have LEED certified silver buildings that have just been constructed, and we will be utilizing that new space. And so everything that's happening at the campus this year, which will be all in the social business development center, will be an outstanding opportunity for young kids to get hands-on experience using the latest technological tools, computer-aided design, and rooms that are just been built just recently. So the structure itself, in terms of earthquakes or anything like that, there won't be any need for any thinking about, say, if we're in a safe location. So we're in a great location, and historically over the years we have tried to do stuff that's really impactful, and we actually we'll kind of get into a little bit of what Southern California is as a region, and how it can deal with, say, earthquakes and all that kind of stuff too as well.
So where is this? Where is the location of the school?
Just as I said, it's at Southwest College, which is at the corner of Imperial Highway and Western.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just wanted you to let our audience know exactly where that's at, for those who may not know.
Okay.
And before we talk to the young talent that we have over here.
And where they can find out more information about it is the listener can go to SoCal, NOMA, that's SoCal, NOMA, NOMA.org, and we have all the information on our website where they can find out how they can register, how they can volunteer. Everything that's associated with the camp will be on that site.
Great. That's outstanding.
If I may chime in, please.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm an alumni of LA Southwest College, and the actual address is 1600 West Imperial Highway in Los Angeles.
Okay,
yes.
I think I've seen. Yeah, I drove by there. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk to the young talent now. How you doing there, young man?
I'm doing good.
Let me turn your mic on there so this way everybody can hear you. Sorry about that. Go ahead, speak again.
I'm doing good.
And your name is?
Kenyatta Trevante Roach II.
I won't say that 3 times fast. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you were connected with SoCal NOMA.
Well, I was like 7 years old, and my mother was talking about what you want to be for your career or major. Well, I said architect engineering. She gave me a look like she never heard of this word called architecture.
Right.
Even I heard of it, but I never how to spell it. And
you were 7 years old?
Yes.
Awesome. Go ahead.
And then around in the age of, well, actually in middle school, I started this program around age of, I think, 12 to 13.
Okay, cool. And since you've been in it, because I'm looking at the flyer, and the ages starts at 10 years old up to 16. And so when you, before you came into the program, what talents did you discover or you noticed that you had that would lead you to doing what you're doing?
Well, my first major was architect engineering, so basically it was the whole thing. But other than that, it's more parts of the engineering. But for me, since I already graduated from high school from this year, I'm doing chemical engineering. Okay,
and that consists of, for those who are listening,
yeah. Class of 15.
There you go. That's right. Shout it out, man. Be proud of that. Be proud of that, man.
Yes. Yeah. Can't take that away from you.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Look at me now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the thing about Kenyatta, really dynamic young man, and he has a tremendous amount of creativity, and he was able to he's one of our young people that kind of had the passion for architecture and wanting to do architecture, but not knowing a lot about it and what that really entailed. Mm-hmm. At the end of the first summer camp, he was now on that path where he really could see, hey, I can really do this, and it makes sense, and I've got now some tools that I can use to really kind of take that just conceptual idea and make it reality.
Exactly, and I'm gonna show some pictures of some of the students, some of the people of the camp.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, and how they are participating in the program. So, but we can continue on talking and all that while the rest of our audience is seeing all this. So, much as I don't, you know, like I said, I don't know too much about architect. I just know there's a need for it, and stuff like, you know, a bridge.
Right.
You know, bridges need to be built, and not only they need to be built, but they need to be kept up. Correct. As well.
Correct.
So I'm quite sure, you know, your program does that, you know, supplies and makes sure that happens. Is that correct? Or
yes.
Tell me more.
Well,
yeah. You're with bridges being kept up. Of course, you're referring to structural engineering. You know, so I guess there's a number of different of consultants that an architect would use if he comes up with an idea for something that needs to be built. You know, of course, you know, structural engineering. There's mechanical engineering. There's electrical engineering, plumbing engineering, a landscape architect, interior designers. A lot of different things that we would use.
Right.
Some say, you know, in smaller projects or some projects we may do the interior design ourselves. In larger things, we may be more concerned about just getting the building built and hire interior designer to fill in that portion.
Exactly.
Maybe we don't know too much about the plant life and what roots might undermine the foundation. So we might have a landscape architect come in and do the planting and designing.
Okay.
Right now we're in a drought, so a landscape architect would tell us what type of plants don't use a lot of water.
Exactly. So this program, by the time somebody like him, Kenyatta, right?
Yes.
When he's finished, he's able to fill in the blank.
well, he can actually take his, say, from embryonic stage where he's just learning what he needs to do. He can take the creative talents. Now he can say, okay, I'm not afraid to take these kind of courses in school.
Right.
Okay. And so what we do is we kind of give them the basics, okay, in our summer camp. And then we also have some mentor programs where they can also, say, over the year, say, work with a practitioner that's actually in the field that can say, hey, look, here's some things that you can do to enhance your creative talent, on the architectural side. And then ultimately, say, like Kenyatta, say, look at, say, chemical engineering or being an architect or, say, mechanical design or civil engineering, what have you, and they can really look at that as a career path. So
okay. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to take a little break, pay some bills. And you've been listening to Speak On It. Normally Richard Karr is the host of this show, but I'm standing in for him. And for those who may want to call, the number is 323-473-3100. And we'll be back in a few.
That is hanging up. The goddamn nation looks like we always end up in a rut. Everybody now trying to make it real compared to what? Come on, baby. Slaughterhouses are killing hogs, twisted children are killing frogs, poor dumb rednecks rolling logs, tired old ladies kissing dogs. I hate the human love of that stinking mud. is war. Folks don't know just what it's for. Nobody gives us a rhyme or reason. Have one doubt, they call it treason. With chicken feathers all without wonder. God damn it, trying to make it real compared to what suck it to me.
Minority Architects, whose mission is to champion diversity within the building and design profession, is hosting its 6th annual summer camp on August 1st, August 8th, and August 15th for youth ages 10 to 16, introducing youth to architecture, interior design, engineering, and urban planning. Total camp cost is $100 per camper and includes lunch, snacks, and takes place all day from 8 to 5 p.m. Campers will enjoy field trips to iconic architectural complexes, plus 3 days of hands-on building design learning experiences. To register, go to SoCalNOMA.org. That's SoCal, NOMA.org.
Do you or does someone you know have sickle cell disease? Have you heard about the EPIC study? It's an international research study evaluating an investigational drug aimed at shortening the duration of painful crisis. And with over 50 sites in the U.S., there may be a site near you. To learn more and to find out if the EPIC study is right for you, visit www.theepicstudy.com.
Business school is not exclusive to one field, it's universal. Loyola Marymount University's Executive MBA is designed for accomplished working professionals. You will build core business skills required for executive leadership. Classes are held on Saturdays. Earn an accredited degree in just 20 months with LMU's Executive MBA program. No matter what type of field you have chosen for your career, LMU's EMBA will make you a better leader. For more information, visit emba.lmu.edu. Once again, that's emba.lmu.edu. Loyola Marymount University, proud sponsors of Born to Talk with Marcia White-Tekka and the LA Talk Live Broadcast Network.
Disability awareness experts, empowering and advocating for the rights of people with disabilities. The professional consultants at Disability Awareness Experts create awareness through consultation for ADA legislation and federal compliance, fair hiring practices, and educating businesses on how to hire people with disabilities. With affordable prices offered at different levels, our mission is to empower the lives of people with disabilities and enhance opportunities. For more information, visit www.daexperts.net. That's www.daexperts.net. Or call 202-549-4793. The Disability Awareness Experts, educating and empowering individuals with disabilities. Proud sponsors of the Veterans Day Live.
Testing 1, 2, testing.
So you can still hear us if you
La 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 la.
what you want to hear inside. Welcome back, everybody, to Speak On It. I am your interim host, Ecor the Wolf, stepping in for Richard Karr as well as Van Eric Marshall. And we have the NOMA. Should I say NOMA? Cal NOMA? Can I say that? Can I say that? SoCal NOMA. Excuse me. Correct me. Chin check me. You know, on a Friday night. But we are blessed and great, and it's an honor to have you guys here. You know, because I see before me nothing but a sea of chocolate, which is us. You know what I mean? Which is a beautiful thing. No disrespect to any other races or anything, but it's just time for us to shine.
Yes.
You know, in our lifetimes, and to let me exalt you guys as well. We have the youth in the building, so all these different generations and levels. It's a beautiful thing. So, thank you guys for being here. You know.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you
very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, again, I'm Ecor, and let's see. I'm new here as well from the moment. So who do we have here to my?
I'm Raquel Sheppard-Price.
Raquel Sheppard-Price. That's a strong name, Raquel Sheppard-Price.
Yes, it is.
That's right.
Duane Williams, Assistant Director.
Duane Williams.
Lawrence Huley, Director of the Summer Camp.
All right.
Ruben Jacobs, SoCal NOMA Events Coordinator.
All right.
Kenyatta Roach,
Is he choking up?
He's an alumni of the
I'm
summer
alumni
camp.
of the
Right.
summer camp.
Oh, the big dog, huh?
You're the big dog on campus.
How does it feel about being an alumni from the summer camp? I mean, explain some of that to me, big dog.
I mean, it's an experience for me because this is my first time on the radio actually, and on top of that, I gotta look out for the other young, well, not young black folks, but it's more a group of Americans and other cultures.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So are you in the process of showing the youth that's up under you? What's your age, first of all? How old are you?
Well, I just turned 19 last Tuesday.
Okay. So you are in college. I mean, I take it you're in college right now?
Yes, but I will leave in the middle of July.
Okay. Where's your university that you chose to go to?
Bethune-Cookman.
My man.
Right.
My man. Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
You ready for it?
Yes.
That HBCU experience?
Yes.
All right, I know all about it. Oh, so well. Fisk University in the house. Stand up if anybody out there know about Fisk University. You know, Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, it's a good thing, man. I'm gonna be honest. When I was a child growing up, I always wanted to get into architecture, I should say. You know, my uncle told me in high school. This is way back. I don't have a little age on me at this point now, but some years back when I was a child, my uncle told me. Before I even got to high school, he said, when you get to high school, take up drafting. I didn't even know what drafting was. I just know he was saying, take up drafting, because my uncle can draw real good. I mean, real good. Mm-hmm. And he was always saying, just take up drafting. You know, and then when I got to high school, that's that word he was saying, no drafting. And then, but I never took it up, because I got too involved in sports and the entertainment, and I was always in the bands and, did all that. But drawing was kind of like a hidden passion of mine, So, and I love to see structures,
Well, speaking of that, I mean, we come from the same path. I'm a former athlete also.
Okay.
And so I know that whole experience in terms of, you want to do something, you may be doodling or drawing something in the evening and stuff like that on your spare time, but you got this passion to be this professional athlete. And that was the same thing. That was my track.
Another thing is I didn't speak up on it. I didn't speak on it at the time, because as a child, my voice wasn't there the way it is once we get older and older, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's I didn't have anybody that was pushing like you guys are pushing this architecture culture, within our community.
Didn't exist.
Didn't exist. Yeah. My uncle, I guess he was like a pioneer at the time, or a visionary, I should say, at the time, to say, hey, take up drafting, because he knew something way back then. This was like 70s.
Well, here's the thing that he knew, is that he knew innately inside of him there was an urge to draw, the urge to be creative, and I think that goes all the way back to the pyramids. Okay, we have that innately in us, and a lot of our young people have that, but right now they're pigeonholed because they're not. There are no mentors. There are no one that is saying to them, "Hey, look, this is something else that you can do. I see greatness in your face, and you can do some pretty remarkable things that you don't even know you can do."
Right.
Okay, and that's a part of the challenge, especially the young athletes.
Right.
Their focus is, okay, I'm gonna dunk the ball with two hands.
Right.
I'm gonna be a baseball player. I'm gonna throw the ball 95 miles an hour, but they don't realize that they are more than that.
Exactly.
There is much more.
I had to correct a brother in the store one night a couple of weeks ago. And he's an older gentleman, and he was in the store sweeping up, kind of job, which is cool. And so there was another brother came in with the kind of job where you see a lot of brothers at the bus stop with those back supports on. It was like a Velcro back brace type of support.
Yeah.
And when you just to see that, that brother is working hard.
Oh, he's
he's working hard.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this brother particularly had paint all over him and one of those kind of back supporters on. So the brother was in there sweeping. He's like, "See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, brothers. See how you looking? We need more of us out here looking like that, right? Working and everything." And I told him, I said, "You know what, brother, you're right about that." I said, "But in the same token, we need to have more of us owning."
Yes.
Owning.
Yes.
Because at the same time, what he's saying is there's an Indian man behind the fiberglass counter,
Right.
listening to all this, while this man sweeping the store, talking to another brother with paint all over him, with the back brace, who know he's been bending his back. And I said, "No, brother, it's time for us to start owning things. No disrespect." And then they said, then I had on a shirt of my company, and they said, this other gentleman said, "Man, that's a nice shirt and hat you got on. Where'd you get that from?" I said, "The business owner, that's who I am, Then we just went ahead and I got them on the path of, understanding that we have to start creating and owning.
Let me speak on that. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that you can be the technician, okay, the one that actually goes out and does the work, okay, and that's important. We need that. Okay, then you can also be the manager.
Right.
Okay, that really manages the person that's a technician and shows them what they need to do. But I think that what we are really trying to strive for and change this paradigm is to look at entrepreneurship.
Exactly.
And how we can really be the creators and developers and take that vision to reality.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with working. There's
Absolutely.
nothing wrong with being because
Absolutely. That is a part of work.
That's a part of the society because everybody's not going to be a millionaire, billionaire. Everybody's not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, the cashier, the crossing guard. You know what I mean? But there are people out there who desire to have those jobs. You know what I mean?
But I would like to speak on that.
Speak on it.
With respect to whatever that is you do need to know it from top to bottom.
Yeah.
So somebody thinks, you know, I don't want to be a janitor, but to have a janitorial service, you will have to know
the
how to be a
infrastructure.
janitor.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's true.
And so all we're trying to say is own your business, which doesn't mean you have to own a medical practice.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you have to be a lawyer.
Exactly.
But whatever you're doing, you need to know it from top to bottom, and you should start to take ownership of
Exactly.
it,
Yes.
whatever that is. And
Right.
we're not trained as a society, as a people, to get into ownership of whatever it is.
We always say
look
what we
for-
want. We want this, want
Well,
that,
two
but we don't
things.
go about it.
We
do it to
look
get
for the
it.
want and
Instant
society's,
gratification.
our generation prided us. What did they say? Get a good paying job.
Job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get a job. Right. Get a job.
Get a
and-
job, get your benefits, get your
And that's-
401k.
that's the way of life.
And they're not keeping you till you're 65 anymore.
Exactly.
The gold watch is not coming. So
It's
we
not
need
coming.
to learn how to own our own business so you retire whenever you want.
When you want to travel, when you want with your family.
The real definition of real Americana is to
Gotta speak
really
on
be
it.
able to create
Yes.
your vision. That's what.
Let's
if
say
you
that
look-
again. Once you finish, say that again so the listeners can hear you say that again. That
Okay.
definition of all that.
Being able to create. Bottom line is to be able to take your concept, whatever you have in your mind, in your mind's eye, that you are passionate about, that would potentially be able to make an impact. Well, how do you take that concept from concept to reality? Because the reality right now is that there are a lot of tremendous ideas, and guess where they are? In the graveyard.
In the graveyard.
Yes.
People hold on to their
Or they're
vision.
stuck in their head.
They're stuck in their head. They don't know how to get that vision
Manifest
out,
it.
and they don't know how to manifest it. And ultimately, they then end up passing away. And
Or
God
years
has
go
given
by.
us that. God has given us that seed, and it's up to us to cultivate the seed. He gives it to us, and everything around us is here
So
to
that-
do what we want to do.
At all times.
In
All the
terms of being
resources.
able to create it and have the wherewithal to know all the ins and outs of it, just like Ruben said,
Exactly.
is critical.
And Raquel spoke on it earlier when she spoke on, you know, why she put her son in our program, and we hadn't really point blank said that. One of the biggest attributes to this summer camp program and what architecture and engineering is, we're critical thinkers.
Yes.
So we are inherently are trained to think out of the box.
Analytical.
Yes.
And so it's not only just analytical. I know going to architecture school, our instructors not only made us think out of the box, so meaning come up with a great answer, they actually made us come up with the question first, then the answer to the question. So that was very difficult at first.
said,
'Cause
well
it was
said.
hard to just come up with the right answer. Now they're like, no, don't just come up with a building. You know, you need to come up with a concept and a partie.
Yes.
Why you want this building to be a window to the world, or something that reflects hip hop, or something that reflects
Tell the
this cool
story.
thing, and now design something that follows that.
And it tells a story, basically.
So
It tells a story, yes.
So it's like other art forms, like music, like film. They don't just start with the movie.
No.
They start with a concept, and then they make the
idea.
movie follow the idea and the concept.
So basically, like Brother Huley, right?
Yes.
Brother
Huley,
Huley.
yes.
Huley, I
Yes.
apologize, Huley.
Hugh
Correct me,
Yes,
Chin
like Hugh Masekela with Hugh Lee.
Okay, Hugh
Hugh
Lee.
Lee.
Hugh
Yes.
Lee.
Yes,
Hugh,
sir.
oh, Hugh Lee.
Yes,
there
sir.
it is. So basically, as Brother Hugh Lee was speaking on, it's not so much as dreaming, people, because when you dream, you sleep when you dream.
Right.
But to have vision is different than a dream. Because I'm not sitting there saying I'm reaching for my dreams. Because in a dream, I'm on the boat on my grandma's porch, and then I'm talking to a person that went to my college, and I'm on campus. That's a dream. You know what I mean? When it's all these weird issues inside of a dream, that's a dream.
And then taking it to the next level is that dream, then cultivating that dream, putting it on paper, and then once you write it on stone tablets, as I said says in the word, it will manifest itself. Okay, so you have to put it on. You have to write that vision down. Okay, and ultimately, once you write that vision down, with the tools that we have already been innately given, the building process begins. Once you have it written down, so other people can see it, and then they can interpret what you've written down, and now it can be built.
Right.
Because it takes a team. It's not one person. Architecture is not one person now doing, say, in his own office, in his studio. It's several people. It's a team of people that are actually creating these concepts and the new architecture that you see in society today.
Collective effort.
It's a collective effort, exactly.
And so the vision has to be clear so that everybody could follow that.
Correct.
Right.
May
so
I chime
I was getting ready. I was getting ready to say, out of all this testosterone here, do not feel like this is just some man thing or a man's world, because I was getting ready to come to the nurturing side as well as the strength and the different gender, because I want to speak to Miss Sheppard over there and see where's your stance and take on it as the woman, the African American woman in the architect world. Where's your stance on this? And I mean, just give us your take on it.
Well, my foundation is education, because as an administrator, an elementary school assistant principal, I'm at the foundation of how children are learning and growing as individuals. And one thing that I've noticed that I would like to share is that, number one, our students and families are not embracing education of basic skills the way that they used to. And I believe that children are becoming disinterested in school with the traditional teaching styles that our educators are used to employing for our children. So there needs to be a paradigm shift. One thing that's in place now is the Common Core standards. So when these gentlemen were speaking on individuals who are able to think and express themselves, critical thinking, that's what the Common Core standards, but it's going to take some time, because it's a paradigm shift from traditional teaching where we have directed instruction and you're sitting there and you're listening, and then you may get a 15-minute time frame to produce the work that they just taught you. You understand what I'm saying? And so with that being said, we also have to pay attention as a community and know that I'm a graduate from Manual Arts High School, and when you hear manual arts, when you talk about drafting, that used to be available to our children.
Yes. It was available in our high school as well.
In Los Angeles Unified School District, it's not available anymore.
They cut it off. They cut it out. What is
so the camp is providing those opportunities for these children to use their critical thinking skills, to explore, to be creative, so that they begin to think about all of the skills that they have that they don't get to use in the classroom.
And see, I'm glad that we're all here collectively, because I mean, not so much as this is about just architect, it's about the community that's involved in this one nucleus, and there's so many things that's added to all around it that coincides with this, because it all goes and entails with education.
You know, it's kind of funny though. It's kind of funny though, because I graduated from USC like 20 years ago, and most of my career has been with school projects, in the Inland Empire or with LAUSD, designing and modifying their campuses. And the first several years that I was doing this, we were taking the manual arts and auto shops and trade shops out of the campuses and putting computer labs in.
Right.
See?
And, so they have no idea what a hammer is or a wrench is or a screwdriver or how to use anything. They know how to type and text, but how to actually...
Easily. But what about the common stuff that we grew up on, that base America, America was based on hammers and nails and stuff like that.
Even my own dad, he actually was aerospace engineer at Rockwell International.
Wow.
And he said that he
was before his time.
Yeah. And he actually said that with the government contracts, he couldn't really tell me what he's working on right now.
Right.
But
I tell you, son, I got to hide you.
He can tell me what he did. He can tell me what he did when he finished. He said he built he designed the weapons release system of the B-1 bomber.
Wow.
Now speaking
amazing.
of this, they bring up a very critical point, and that is relevance. Okay, because a lot of our young kids right now today, as Raquel mentioned, they're going through these classes, and I'm a Dorsey High School alumni.
Okay,
and,
all right.
Back in the
Dorsey
day,
stand up.
and we had the drafting class also, auto shop, metal
Fairfax
shop,
High.
wood shop.
One of my buddies is the principal of Dorsey High School. Dorsey University.
Yes.
Dr. Sample.
Dr. Sample. Yes.
That's my boy right there.
I raised him. That's one of my young dogs.
One of my good friends
All
is
great man.
oh man, it's some of the coaches over there. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this.
Yes.
Ralph Tilley is one of the guys that I know over there. But the point I'm trying to make is that relevance is critical because these young kids right now, they don't see that relevance. And what they're getting in the common practice of education presently today is just the bits and pieces that are just taught in the classroom, and so they don't get a chance to see how to apply those skills. And what we basically do is give them those skills that they can now apply what they're learning in school. Okay, for example, this room. Okay, if we were in a setting for our camp, we would say, hey, look, let's measure this room. What's the exact measurements of this room? Now, based on the exact measurements of this room, what's the square area of the room? Okay, what's the volume of the room? Okay, all those things are critical. Almost now they get a chance to say, wow, and I can correlate the actual dimensions of the size of this room with everything I'm learning in school.
Right.
Okay,
and this is why I needed to learn these concepts in elementary school. These skills are learned in elementary school in 4th and 5th grade.
And that's what's being lost with the program or the way the instruction is being taught today.
Yes.
And I thought you were going to say, when you said relevance, is why am I learning? What can I use it for?
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing, because see, once the light turns on, now they say, oh, that's what I can really use this for.
And now I'm motivated to learn it.
Now I'm motivated to learn it because I can use it.
Why am I learning Spanish? Why am I learning French? I don't want to learn another language. Everybody I'm talking to is speaking in that. Yet no one is told, well, a lot of our youth are not told, that if you learn languages well, you could be a translator and go all around the world.
Right. Yes.
And we're not even narrowing down what profession you're in. Just the fact that you know how to speak that could be anything.
Yeah.
I just want to speak on that myself because, like I said off air, I'm a contractor and I do pretty well. When I came to California, I was told that I'm capable of supervising a group of people, but because I don't speak Spanish, they can't hire me. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not in Mexico. I thought I'm in the United States, so why do I need to learn Spanish to tell somebody how to pick up a hammer in Spanish? But this is where I'm at. So I had to adapt if I wanted to do this kind of work. And like you said, they're not telling the youth that by learning a second language, especially in the southern part of California, you'll be more employable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And not one-dimensional.
Well, plus if you ever get stuck in another country and you're trying to order some food, you won't starve.
Exactly.
Let's break it
you
down to the basics.
You over there not knowing something, you say a sound, they're going to bring some mud or something.
Thank you.
Said mud. You want mud.
and we say stuck somewhere. It's just, how about you want to go?
Exactly.
You just want to go
someplace. I want to go to get something.
Exactly.
Something else. We are the only culture, and now I'm not talking African Americans. I'm talking Americans in general that think that we're the only language.
Yes.
You know the saying.
Spanish is almost, it's like right up there with us, with English, Very universal.
Yeah, and that's a good point because when I first got here, the young lady that I was dating, one of her grandsons never been to the beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when he came and we took him to the beach to see this young man expression on his face of happiness. And a lot of young men and women, don't know how it is to be somewhere else.
They're
outside
not seeing the county, the world.
None of that.
I grew up in New York, and it wasn't uncommon to hear somebody that lived in New Jersey that had never been to New York City. And I'm like,
exactly. I know people in Detroit never been downtown Detroit.
So that whole thing of the ocean and that experience, that's crazy.
So as the educator, Ms. Sheppard, because I used to have to talk to my my stepson, and I would always show him how to get I would make him doing his homework more enjoyable.
Yes.
Like I would do little little rhymes or something, or little songs or something, just to create something, some kind of animation for him to remember. So if you get a chance to remember this, I would give him a little something to sing or something that you can remember it that way.
Yes.
But they were always getting these packets. What's up with that packet? They just give these kids this packet, blam, and just go do this packet, bring it back home, and have your parents sign it or whatever, and that's their work. And they come to school and they get these packets, and now we have these children. They're not even coming home expressing themselves, but they're having all these problems in school.
Yes.
But it's the teacher's not really interacting with them. Like I would love to be able to have a course that I want to implement into the school system across the country, where it's called Culture and Discipline.
Yes.
It's a culture and discipline class, where these children are being set up in a mock situation throughout the whole semester, and we just place them in these situations and see how they react in these situations. And we, or the psychological staff, would sit there, or people of substance who educators would sit there and show them the proper etiquettes of being in anybody's house or in an environment. So, for example, you go in somebody's house and you got a cup in your hand or a bottle that you came in with, or you asked them for a cup, whatever. I mean, you have to be aware of these things and make a conscious effort, because if you don't see any kind of cup rings or something on the table, then 9 times out of 10, nobody's sitting a cup on that table. So you have to know these kind of things. It's just little disciplines of what I'm speaking on, and I want to be able to implement that into the school system. But speaking to these kids, they're so lost on a lot of these levels because no one is really interacting with them like this young man here to say, let's hear you. Let's really hear you.
Yes.
So I can identify with you as an educator, because I need to teach you from knowing what you really do know. Not this protocol of what they're telling us to do.
Yes.
Let's sit down and really get into your head to find out why and what and whatever the case is, because a lot of these kids are gang bang, or they caught up into a lifestyle where they feeling like, if I don't be this way, then I'm not going to be accepted. Because I do a lot of mentoring to a lot of the little young gang guys in Compton or whatever, and I let them know, because I guarantee you, out of all these millions of doggone gangbangers and members, there are some lawyers in there, there are some doctors, there are some tap dancers, there are some ballerinas that really, they don't have to be gay or anything, but there are people that want to do modern dance. They exist in these gangs right now, but they're limiting themselves when they have nobody to show them this comfortability of, be who you are, be yourself, because they have to learn the processes of, especially people like us who've been out there. We have to show them the true way of, really do. You don't never got to go through that. Stand over here and stand by yourself, and eventually everybody's going to come over here and gravitate to you because you know how to stand alone. Don't be the follower.
They might even have the cure for cancer, but I
they do.
Raquel's got.
I know where it is.
From an educational perspective, there's quite a few things that you shared here. First, I would like to address that, yes, there are a lot of children who associate themselves with gangs, but a lot of that starts at home. So that is a crisis that we're dealing with within the school community, okay, on how to address them and make them feel wanted and needed and value education. But remember, they're receiving an education in the streets before they come into the school building. So our struggle is
how do we get that out of there?
How do we get that out of there
process,
and get them into the educational world? And so that's one of our struggles that we're constantly working on. And there's some programs that we have designed that are addressing that within Los Angeles Unified School District.
We lost the program. We had to make the kids interested in wanting to come to school. I used to, when I was growing up in school, it wasn't a day that I did not want to be there, because if I miss school, I'm gonna miss something. I want to be there. know.
So the other thing is, if I may continue, is that you also talked about the homework packet. Okay, that's a traditional process that many teachers and many parents have embraced throughout the years.
Right.
And so sometimes I hear it within the schools as recent as the last several months, where teachers are sending home creative work, you know, and parents are like, well, where's the homework packet? Where's the spelling words?
Oh, now they got a problem with it now.
Right, they have a problem with it. They're like, we want our packet, you know, teachers.
Wow.
So the teachers are like, okay, let's accommodate the parents. We don't want the parents unhappy. So it's not that the teachers are not willing to, because we're trying to take them using the Common Core standards to the next level, to get them to think deeper, to get them to do more hands-on. We send home annually our science projects where we want them to use those critical thinking skills and be creative. And we keep getting volcanoes. You understand? You remember that?
Yes.
So we keep getting volcanoes. So we are charged with trying to enhance the learning experience. One of the programs that we have within the school district is called the Academic English Mastery Program. And that particular program is embracing children according to their learning styles and their language styles, their home language, so that they gain access to standard English, because that's a chronic problem within our country. You know, we want them to come in and we want them to embrace this education that we have to offer them. However, we haven't embraced them in their cultures first, so that they can gain access to what we have to offer in reference to higher learning and thinking and standard English.
Say it, sister. Say it.
Yes.
Speak on it.
And I appreciate you speaking on English, because like I attend Long Beach City College, and I went to Overbrook High in Philly. But anyway, the first day, Philly. Yeah, the first day of English class, she asked for volunteers, and what she wanted us to do was put up on the board what somebody text us.
Yes.
And because of her doing that, now when I text somebody, I try to text as correctly as possible.
Yes.
I don't use "you are" for "your," you know what I mean, and things like these little abbreviations. Yeah, and I try to use correct comprehension when I text, even when I text, something like that. And I think that's the key. Try to practice these skills, and again, it takes our parents.
Yes.
I was a volunteer parent when my daughter was in Head Start, things like that, you know. And then when she got into elementary school, the principal knew who I was, her teacher knew who I was, and even the nurse, because I was there, parents meetings and all that. And our parents need to get back into the flow of thing, and don't be scared because of new math.
Yes, yes, yes.
You know.
Yes.
Well, you know, that's interesting you guys say that, and hopefully you're not texting and driving, because you know, that's a part. That's a challenge too.
Big challenge.
You know, the key thing is don't hit the send button until after you've read it twice.
Man,
okay,
believe it.
because I've been in that same scenario too, where I've rushed and tried to get something done and thought I had it right, and was like, I looked back after it. After I wrote it, I said, man, I said that. Are you serious?
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I used the word "was" when I should have said the word "is."
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, the word for today is do not rush.
Yeah.
Do not rush.
Because I rushed twice today, and I lost $5 in the wind. I was like, I went to the gas window. I was like, what other $5 that I had? I was like, it's like somebody rich, $5 richer. So I gave it to the world, give it to the universe.
Gallon and a half.
A gallon and a half. Give it to the universe.
That's about it.
One thing I want to share about the NOMA experience is that not only are they trying to give the direction of career, however, they have, in my experience, provided the historical content to the children. So I personally have learned a lot, and that brings value to the process and the actual meaning and decision making of like, wow, this is why I would want to become an architect. And not only did they bring in the architects, I've seen engineers, and we've seen some of the students with their dynamic projects from USC, like the young lady who came in with the homeless, the backpack house.
Oh wow! Yes, the environment. Yes.
And I'm glad you spoke on that too, because my history class showed me how talented black people are when it comes to inventing and coming up what we use today.
Yes.
And we need to let young people know that they have the ability to do the same thing. I mean, it's amazing what the black mind comes up with, where, and I'm gonna say it, where the white people took from us, took credit for us.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
I would like to just add to this conversation is that what we try to instill in these young people is to look at potentially being the Paul Revere Williams of the world.
Yes.
The Benjamin Banneker's of the world.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
The Elijah McCoys of the
Exactly.
world. Okay. Say, because you have in you the potential to build the real McCoy. Okay. And so those are the kinds of things that we try to instill in these young people, and Kiana's a perfect example of that. I mean, he's moving into a new realm of his life, going into college now, and he has direction, and that's the key thing that we want to give these kids early on, is direction.
I want to ask Mr. Kenyatta a question as well, a young black brother growing up in this time right now, because there's so many youth getting shot, killed, so many grown-ups, black men getting shot, killed. I mean, we just had a church get shot up.
Crazy.
I mean, people
That's
got
crazy.
murdered in our black church. I mean, it's like, so you're from Los Angeles, California, Mr. Kenyatta, and I want to hear your view and your take, because you're the youngest in here, and at this point, this is your world right now. You know, where we dealing with right now, and we just want to hear your take. How do you navigate your way through life, dealing with the inner city situations such as gangs and peer pressure? How do you go about this?
Well, actually, my parents had to deal with it, but other than that, I stay out of it, because if you have a mom from another set and my dad from another set, what set I will be on? None, because I had more common sense as a child. Barely around. Okay, let's say for example, there's one kid trying to take it to the next level and trying to put on by a different group, setting something start up like robbing a bank or anything, but the other kid will not be exactly around that time or don't want to be involved. I'm that type of kid.
Right.
I don't want to be involved around it.
Right, and you can stand strong and don't have to be involved either.
You know, one of the other key things, and I'm glad Kiana kind of talked about that a little bit, is that what we try to do is, in our mentoring of these young people, is just give them other alternatives. Because right now, what they see on TV, a lot of it's a lot of violence. And so they perpetuate what they see on TV. Because you only know what you know. Okay, and they only know what's happening in their own community or their set. Okay, and so what we try to do is expand that vision so they can say, hey, look, we're more than just what we are on our set. We are really a global community, a global society, and we have much more to give, much more to create in terms of making an impact in our society and changing the world for the better once we get on the right page.
And that's a strength within itself.
And now we're and going on what Kenyatta would like to do, and I'd like him to expand on that a little bit, but off air we talked about options and the fact that our camp is dealing with specifically architecture, engineering, urban planning, and interior design. And what are those things? And while I was to the side, it was talked about a little bit, and I think the audience should get a little better understanding that architecture is basically the design of the buildings. Civil engineers and those structural engineers are ones that are dealing more with the infrastructure of our cities. So the bridges, roadways, dams, all of those things, they're doing that stuff in addition to helping architects make our building stand. Because we don't do the engineering on a building. And getting the terminologies clear, architecture is the profession, architect is the person. So you have engineering is the profession, engineer is the person. So people get tripped up on architecture a little bit. That's what they are. But with Kenyatta now, in him taking our summer camp, and we didn't expose him to all the other engineerings, but we had him to understand what civil engineering is and how broad a field that is. He is now getting ready to go to Bethune and become a chemical engineer. But he has an interest in civil engineering and knew with chemical engineering I could start to work on facility plants and places of that nature with my chemical engineering background. So without talking more, I'd like Kenyatta to say a little bit more about what he's thinking, what he's aspiring to do there at Bethune with chemical engineering and all of that, and why he chose that.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Mr. Kenyatta.
Hi. I am a little bit nervous, but about college, the main course is about me. I'm in the books. I'm not a lazy cat. I'm not a party person. I'm not that type of person. I just want to get in, get out, get my degree. Better yet, like 2 masters, 4 doctors. It depends.
It can be done. It can be done.
I'll tell you this much.
It can be done.
Make it happen, baby.
It can be done.
Absolutely.
I mean,
It can be
that is
done,
not
but
impossible.
I tell you one thing, your mom or pops will piss you off if you spend all that money on that one simple thing. I'll tell you that much, and it's hard to get in. Well, for me, this all happens. So around the area of once they had the LA concert. I try to say the word. I can't say it.
Go ahead. Take your time.
Okay.
Conservatory?
Huh?
Conservatory?
No. It was the LA convention.
Oh, convention. There you go.
It was the LA convention about the black colleges. Well, I supply like 4 or 5 colleges. All I got is 2 colleges.
Fisk University. Excuse me.
now, these are the schools that my main school was Tuskegee because it's out of state and it's more comfortable. But once you have like rumors, which is popularization kids, I'm not that type of person who likes to be like, woo, party, yay. No.
They all gonna be party. Let's be honest. Let's just be honest. Let's treat the truth.
There's gonna be a party.
Let's keep it truthful.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a party, and you're gonna have the greatest 4 to 5 years of your life
as a freshman
while you're learning. That's
Yes.
one thing about it. You're gonna have the greatest time of your life while you're learning. This is the greatest time.
Let's be real.
Let's be real about this. Let's be truthful about it. You know, you can say what you say. You're gonna get down there. You're gonna see some cool dudes, some cool ladies. You're gonna have these different
sororities.
I mean, it's gonna be all kind of stuff going on, but you're gonna have like these connections with so many people on so many levels.
And that's
you know, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Absolutely.
That's what it's about. It's not so much as I'm going to college, get a good job, this and the other, because there's so many people who went to college and still working at the college or working at Home Depot or whatever, but they are on
connected.
but one thing about it, everybody person that did go to college, they're not just working at Home Depot with the name tag. They're at Home Depot on the staff or managing or supervising up to that nature.
Yes.
So that's one thing about being educated. But you're learning about self, you know, how to be accepted, how to accept. You're learning about independence, being self-sufficient, you know, how to be affiliated with different cultures, race of people from out of town. Everybody's not going to be on the Cali style. Everybody's not going to be on the New York style. But I guarantee you, you're going to end up adopting so many different styles from all these cool homeboys because y'all all are going to be like the same guy. It's just that you're me from Ohio. You're me from California. You're me from LA, you know.
And
it's global.
And I do want to point out one thing he said, and I want to correct you. Every school's a party school.
Man, you better believe it. You better believe it.
Don't think that
everybody here went to college.
Oh, yeah. Parties,
we all went to
college.
college.
Find that everywhere. So I'm glad you're on the path, that you're serious about it.
Stay serious.
Know that could be found anywhere. So you want to just go ahead and stay with your concentration.
Stay disciplined.
You pick a school that speaks to your heart culturally, their education system and all the like, and then just run for it. But
I'd like to add something
about
too.
education. I had, real talk, this is about myself. I had a learning disability. I still got it. And
oh man, I didn't mean to clap for that, but let's clap for that.
Okay.
Because you came out of that.
That's right.
Yeah, as a learning disability child, I had lower test scores, lower quizzes, and not a good essay writer. But the funny thing is, I never give up. I try my best and best and best. I'll never give up. I was never a quitter. I always try my best.
Let me tell you what I dealt with, and I expressed this for the first time on LA Talk Live some months back. But I dealt with a syndrome called Tourette syndrome.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like a nervous condition, or tics or whatever. But I've learned how to control it since I've been a kid. I mean, since I was a child. But I had so many problems in school. I didn't even know nothing about Tourette syndrome until I became an adult. I watched the Montel Williams show, and then I said, "Damn, I got everything that these 4 or 5, except that one person. I don't do all that. Like everybody else, I'm like, wow." And the guys out there barking and all that, I'm like, "No, I ain't barking." You know, but I had that. You see what I'm saying? And I dealt with it. But so to say, the point I'm making is, I had to challenge myself for many years, and I had to be aware on a lot of levels, because I had to like suppress it in front of people, like I've done it in front of y'all all this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know how to, and then when I get alone, I just let it go.
See,
but the thing I'm saying is, I had to triumph over that because I couldn't finish. I never was able to finish those standardized tests, like the California Achievement Test, and where you had to like bubble in. They give you like 30 minutes or whatever time for those. I would be stuck reading like one line like at least 20 times.
I had
I had to force myself to say stop, and go to the next one. Go to the next one because I never finished those. But it never really interfered with my grades because I was still a smart kid, But I still had a little like C's, B's. I had some A's here.
Now
but
I was a
ended
C
up going to
minus
Fisk University.
C plus also. Like I was a C minus C plus, but I said, you know what? During like in my 8th grade, I had to mix it up. So my first 8th grade for my GPA was like a 3.2. I was in shock because I didn't know that I had all that talent and an opportunity for me to be a successful man, a young man actually. But around that time, once I had a gift around architect engineering, it's my hands of creating arts because my dad still draws, my mom she still draws, and she trying to make clothing designs like shoes, pants, stuff like that. And I'm just trying to make none of the above of art, like arts and crafts, animation, architect engineering, everything that is got to deal with art. That's me. Like I'm the art madness.
And that's what's really amazing about these young people. They come into our program and they may have just a smidgen of just creativity, and it blossoms.
Y'all cultivate
it. Blossoms.
Y'all cultivate it.
And see, now this young man is on the path to do something extremely great. I see greatness in his face. He is going to be one of the ones that's going to really make an impact on our society.
Give it up again for Mr. Rubin.
Who some of our partners are in the camp. Of course, we have a host of architects that donate their time the days of the camp. We have an engineering firm that's working on the metro line, for example. So these engineers that bring them in to how to do bridges and do these sort of things,
amazing.
They're out there doing it. We have urban planner that maybe Duane could speak on a little bit more, but he's the one that's really working with how is our city being planned? How is it being zoned? So when we give them these projects that are group projects, mind you, where they finally start to work as groups instead of individuals, they're taking on the roles of architect, engineer, urban planner, and learning how to not only work with each other, but work in that capacity.
Right. So, and I mean, I want to segue this into, because I know I have a friend who has a company out right now, and I would like to connect you guys together because her company is called Greatness, and she is a t-shirt line, whatever, but she's all about triumphing over all negativity, everything that entails what you guys doing with this child right here. And I want to be able to connect you guys some kind of way. She's out of town right now, but she will be back. But I want to be able to connect some kind of way with this greatness and push that campaign because this is great what you guys are doing.
Will she be in town on August 1st, 8th, and 15th?
She will be.
Okay, great. we love everyone that's listening to what we're saying. Is please go to SoCalNOMA.org and just find out more about what we're doing.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, SoCal.NOMA.
No.
SoCal NOMA.
Yeah, SoCalNOMA.org.
And there is a page that's called Camp NOMA on that, and everything you'd want to know about the camp is in there, including a great 5-minute video that would show you the camp in progress, where we have parents and students being interviewed, and you'd really see how it's working in there.
Okay, so we're gonna close this out because we are running out of time here, but we want to give a shout out to the SoCal NOMA, and again, ladies and gentlemen, SoCal NOMA Architecture and Engineering Summer Camp 2015 is exposing our youth to the built environment. Los Angeles Southwest College, 3 Saturdays, August 1st, 8th, and the 15th. Ages from 10 to 16. Camp fee is $100. Beautiful fee. Field trips, projects, prizes, and more. Contact us at campregister@socalnoma.org. Again, at socalnoma.org. It's a beautiful situation going on right here, ladies and gentlemen. Wish I had it on the camera so I can show it to them. But we're gonna give it up, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna close out on Speak On It. And we have, there it is. Put it up there on that camera.
There we go.
There it is. So
may I add one quick little thing that the organization is also doing, because people should understand that it is a professional organization. We do things for architects and engineers, and we have an event coming up on July 11th.
Okay.
That is new opportunities in real estate development. And so that is for people that aspire to be in real estate development. And now we're basically going to be going over in that seminar 3 different types of projects that could be done, from small commercial to small residential. So even homeowners that are trying to say add another unit to the back of their house, there are things now you can do in single family zone, let alone how you can take small lots and divide them. So that seminar is going to be to all those folks.
All I want to say is, this is a reality show. I don't know what y'all thinking or saying, but what y'all got going is a reality. That's a reality show here. This is, I mean, the cultivation of these children coming up to become architects and showing them from architects yourselves, man. Y'all got something here. Yeah. So pay me later on. Give me $1 million later on. What do y'all do?
No, he put a B on it.
A billion. Give me $1 billion.
Let's talk billions.
Let's talk billions. Yes. You know, but that's some beautiful thing, man. But y'all have something going there. I mean, document this. Document it. You know, document it from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
You never know what could come about it. They have all these different networks, just like LA Talk Live Network that can air those. You see what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this one in closing too. That as part of a project pipeline program, other chapters throughout the NOMA organization in other cities are also having summer camps as well.
We have like about six other cities that have the camp running,
it's including
Richards, home Philly, Louisiana, New Orleans area, New York, and there's 2 or 3 others, again, if you go to the website.
So we're going to call it, it's a NOMA affair. It's a NOMA family affair, baby. A NOMA family affair. You dig? So, ladies and gentlemen, we want to close it out. You want to give any shout-outs, Ms. Sheppard, to anybody out there that's watching you right now, to your school or whatever?
I just want to shout out to 59th Street and 6th Avenue Elementary Schools in Los Angeles Unified School District, and also to the arts, my alumni.
Mr. Williams.
USC School of Architecture.
There it is. Mr. Huley, you know, y'all have a lot of greats that came from out of Dorsey High School.
Yes, we sure do.
A lot of greats.
Guns, yes, and also Cal State Dominguez Hills.
You are familiar with Keg Johnson? Legendary hit songwriter, just passed away on us, but he's my mentor. But he did a lot of the Brothers Johnson music. Your mom and them dance to it. We dance to it. We all dance to it. But he's a Dorsey High School alumni as well, and I'm working on getting his name up in there, you know, to get his accolades up there as well.
Yeah, a lot of folks.
A lot of folks, man. Tommy Lasorda. Oh man. Yeah. But go ahead, give us some shouts.
Cal State Dominguez Hills also. Man, just.
You about to be like, Mom, number 1, Mom. You know how you do it on the sports games. Shout out to Mom, Dad, number 1.
Well, first off, my NOMA group, my NOMA colleagues, just thank all of them for being a part of what we're doing, and also just the City of LA Basin. We want your support. We need you guys to come out, be a part of it, show up and show out.
Show up and show out, LA.
And that's what it's really all about, okay?
NOMA, stand up.
Yes.
And you know,
Mr. Rubin,
from all the regulars, the wife and all, I really just want to give a shout out to teachers and those that are paving the way. You know, we got in touch with Raquel literally yesterday.
Y'all go to a lot of teachers
and got her here, and it's so refreshing to get teachers behind us and help us, because we know what we're trying to impart. But sometimes we get too technical or we're missing the path. And as Larry said, we really need more teachers to help us help them.
If you don't mind me saying, out of all 5 of you guys up here, ain't none of y'all trying. All y'all are doing. Y'all doing that. Y'all ain't trying that. We gotta start saying, we gotta stop saying they try, because the doers are doing it. Like Nike say, just do it. One of the best phrases ever coined. Because people say, hey, you gonna come to my party tonight? I'm gonna try to. We all said, I'm gonna try to. Never showed up.
That's right. We gotta eliminate.
How you gonna try to show up? How am I gonna try to pick this paper up? I just pick it up.
That's right.
And it empowers us more when we do.
Yeah.
Everything that's operating and running in our society, because those people have done it. They didn't try to do it, they done it. All you guys are architects and the educators. Y'all did that. Y'all doing that and done that. Y'all didn't try to do it.
Exactly.
Excuse me. I'm just saying.
As I always say, if you don't think it's something, you know, spectacular, then you'll just do it. Just like I've always said, why do all the Jacksons know how to play instruments? Because it wasn't a big deal. Joe said, you gonna do it. You ain't
gonna try to do this. You gonna do this.
You're gonna do it.
Do it again. You ain't say try it again. Do it again.
We'll let Kenyatta give
Kenyatta close us out. Kenyatta.
Shout out for the class of 15 of View Park Preparatory High School.
VP.
And here comes the future of Bethune-Cookman, year 19
Oh, 19? Where you at?
Okay.
Where you at? You been here before. You been here before. For real. You been here before.
In 2019.
All right, there you go. Give it up for Mr. Kenyatta, y'all. This is our future, y'all. This is our future. This is most definitely our future.
And again, big ups for Speak On It. Thanks for you guys having us, really.
Yeah, definitely. Speak on
It's a
it.
blessing to have you guys out, man. And this is your home. This is the home for all of us independents out here.
All right.
This is the home for it. So we want to say thank everybody. We know you had a choice of internet radio to listen to tonight, but we thankful and glad that you tuned in to LA Talk Live. We are the home of the independent artists, and we're also more than just talk. We're here for your viewing and listening pleasure. I'm your host, interim host, sitting in for Richard Karr by way of Van Eric Marshall behind me running the boards. I'm Eco the Wolf. Ow! And we turning up, y'all, with NOMA, SoCal NOMA. Give it up for them, y'all, in the building. God bless y'all. Good night.
All right.
Speak on it. And clear.
It seems to me you have another life. Don't pretend the time you love lover or get caught up in your rapture.